Hey folks, Colton Woods here with Colton Woods Horsemanship with your Monday morning motivation. And guys, this week I want to dive into a very important principle that starts with a P. And for any of you guys that have followed us for any period of time, you know that I firmly do believe that time is our absolute most valuable currency. Time is something that people pay us for, that we pay others for, and that truly means a lot to other people. You get into the 5 love languages, which I'm kind of just learning about, but time spent together is one of those things that people very much value a lot of times, understandably, that kids will value time spending with their parents, and likewise our horses. That time we spend with our horses is extremely valuable, but there's one key component to that we all have time. We have 24 hours in a day. We don't know what our overall clock is. We don't know whether we have 67 days or 84 years left, right? So we don't know, which makes that time even more valuable because, we don't know how much we have left. But also it's been maximized because people are willing to pay us for that time, as well as other people just value the time we spend together, whereas other people might value things you do for them, right? But at the same time, no pun intended, presence is what I want to talk about here, and why presence is so important. Presence is important for a lot of reasons. Like with our horses, it's not about how much time in a bulk amount of time that we are with our horse. It also depends on how present we are with our horses in the time that we spend together. Somebody just asked on a forum, how do you get so far along with your Mustangs? And I said time in miles. But it's not just the time. It's not the 6 months that I've owned them. It's the time that I've spent with that horse in the 6 months that I've had them, and how present I am with that horse. And so a lot of us have trouble being present in certain moments and in certain responsibilities that we have in life, because we're always so busy, and it's been glorified to be busy, busy, busy. And I think it is a good thing to stay busy and to keep things fresh and to be doing different activities, whether that's investing in your own education or working or physically working out or whatever the case may be, taking care of your responsibilities. There's a lot to be done to live a successful life, but at the same time, we have to be present in everything that we do, and it's something that we're never always going to be perfect at, but we can always be getting better at that. And the way that we can really structure and make sure that we are more present, and something that I've done, and I've done it, I've stopped doing it, and I've gone back to doing it, and I've stopped doing it, and I'm back to doing it, and that is, in order to get more present, we have to take control of our time. If we take control of our time, then we can be more present, because we know that we have allocated the time to all the other responsibilities that we have. So, for example, on Sunday nights, if you write out your weekly schedule, and you write it out hour by hour or half hour by half hour, and you write down all the things that you need to get done each day, and you can throw in the differences of each day. You might have certain meetings on certain days or certain phone calls or whatever, but write each day down as the unique day that it is, and structure into that day all the things that you need to get done, whether that's working out, cooking dinner, turning the coffee pot on, taking a shower, going for a run, getting your work done, spending time with the family, like whatever it is that you need to get done that day. Go through, make your schedule, write all of those things in there, and give them the time, and be honest about how much time that each thing needs. Over a period of a couple of days and a couple of weeks, you'll be able to refine this back down and get more realistic that, if I get up at 5 o'clock, that I can have the coffee pot on by 5:05, and you don't need 10 minutes to turn the coffee pot on just because you had to walk down the stairs. So you can start refining this down very much so. That way, that when you're doing something like, for me, it would be training horses, but say that when you're doing something like at work, and you're doing a particular spreadsheet, that you can focus on getting that done, because you don't need to worry about when you're going to go to the grocery, because you've already structured that time into your schedule. And this is something that I've started doing, and you can really take control of things. Like if I say I'm riding horses, I do not pick the phone up. And I tell clients I don't pick up the phone early in the mornings, because that's when I'm riding and training horses. I am present with the horses when I'm riding them. However, I have time built into my schedule where I return phone calls, return text messages, return emails in my schedule. And while sometimes that doesn't always work on everybody's schedule, and sometimes I do have to take a phone call because something came up, like it's an emergency and someone's called me 17 times, yes, I'm going to pick the phone up, right? But for the most part, when you build that time into your schedule, then you don't have to feel guilty and you don't have to feel hustled and rushed about everything else, because you've got the things in you've got the time allocated to take care of the things you need to take care of. And that will significantly reduce the amount of time that we're wasting scrolling on social media and just avoiding certain situations, right? If we structure this and we live by that, I have a little journal book that I use, and I call it pretty much my accountability journal, because a lot of my best friends don't live close nearby. We can text each other and keep up and everything like that, but I don't have somebody like that I work with on a daily basis that's going to keep me on track necessarily. So I have my little accountability journal, and that's how I hold myself responsible. So I hope that's a quick tip, but also I hope it's pretty insightful that how important it is to be present in everything that we do, with everyone we do it with all of our horses that we get to interact with. That presence is the value in the time that we spend, right? Time is just time. We can waste time or we can maximize time, but the value comes from how present we are in those moments. And it's a never-ending journey. It's something we always can improve on, always can grow our self-awareness on. But guys, that's our little Monday morning motivation for you guys this week. A little bit longer, but hopefully it will help you guys get your week started off on the right foot. So Colton Woods with Colton Woods Horsemanship. Hope you all have an absolutely blessed week. Look forward to connecting with you all this week. Y'all take care.